Pick a card, let me gas you up. Here are your options, and I'll see you at your reading. Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 1, you chose this beautiful image on the right-hand side of the screen. And your downloads go as follows. Let me gas you up, pile number 1. The downloads I got are that you have stunning eyes, perhaps even a riveting gaze. You could have multicolored hair or an alternative hairstyle, or I heard alternative lifestyle. I heard piercing, like a piercing gaze. All right, pile number 1, hang on tight, because I also heard love your armpits. I mean, with that picture, how can you not? I thought that was kind of amusing. Also, you could have bangs. You feel very sassy, like your energy when I was tapping into the picture actually made me feel very sassy. This is male or female, it doesn't make a difference. You could be very spunky, let me just say that. And also that you may have great skin or glowing skin in spite of what you think. So those are the downloads. I'm going to go ahead and do your shuffle. Hello, we're kind of a hot mess over here. But we're doing things. We're going to do the shuffle in 3, 2, 1. Pile number 1. Welcome to my channel. And let me gas you up. For pile number 1, we have the Queen of Cups. We have the King of Cups. We have the Everything is Fine with the 10 of Swords. And we have the 7 of Wands. So right away, I mean, how could this not steal the whole show, right? That's the reason actually why I bought these cards. They are called the Modern Witch Oracle deck, if you're curious. But with this kind of like prevailing the whole thing, it may seem pile number 1, and please don't be offended. It might be said about you that you might be a little bit dramatic, or that you're incredibly resilient. Regardless of what happens, you're always fine. And honestly, I resemble that remark. Pile number 1, I always say that regardless of what it is, my response is I will figure it out. And 9 times out of 10, I do, okay? So you could be that person as well. Pile number 1. I feel like you could be incredibly, I heard inspirational, but what I was thinking of is empathic, really. So the inspiration came through right before that to kind of cut my brain off right there in mid-thought. Pile number 1, you could be very in touch with your emotions, but also dangerously in touch with other people's emotions as well. You sit on a beautiful throne right here, and you are all about observing those emotions. And hopefully we're observing more than absorbing with the King of Cups. You are the perfect balance of like the divine feminine and divine masculine. So regardless of what sex you are or how you identify yourself, pile number 1, I'm definitely going to say that you're your own couple. So I hope that you guys can joke with me, because a lot of times I'll listen to readings and it talks about partners or whatever. And I'm like, yep, all about me. I just kind of have fun with it, but that's entirely up to you. So I do feel like your self-confidence is something that it's like you're confident on it, but you're not arrogant. You're not thinking, well, everybody needs to look at me and so on and so forth. She's simply focused on what is catching her attention. And yeah, you have an incredible balance, an ability to balance your positive and negative polarities. And I would not be surprised if we got the Chariot card here as well. Now, pile number 1, another incredible thing about you is, again, your ability to rise. And I always think of that poem that, is it Maya Angelou? If I said it wrong, do you correct me? But this really talks about that you have been through the thick and the thin of it. And in fact, you've been through thick and thin with yourself. I feel like you've experienced a lot of tough things. And the beautiful thing about this is that you have risen up. You have learned your lessons. And I mean, honestly, you're a baddie. I'm just going to say you're a pretty badass kind of a person, especially right here where you have the ability to defend yourself. I do feel, pile number one, that people can maybe try to come at you, but you are so beyond their touch. Like, you know, all these ones have to reach up towards you, and you're already standing up and you're defending your position and in a really beautiful cat suit, maybe. I don't know. Gorgeous tights. Maybe you know how to color coordinate super well. You look seamless. And by the way, you look flawless when you do things. When you do defend yourself against other people, I'm going to say that people are actually taking notes. I feel like you do it with grace and with precision. So yeah, but you are not afraid to open up a can of whip at if you need to, right? This is not working out how I wanted to. Why are we all shiny everywhere? There we go. So pile number one, something about this like blue, this turquoise blue. Blue could be like a favorite color for you, but also you could have a deep connection to water, to the ocean, to pools. You could really rejuvenate, regenerate, and heal yourself by spending a lot of time near water or in water itself. So pile number one, you have the Three of Wands. And you have the Empress. What? I mean, like, you are not afraid. You will, I'm saying, kick butt and take names later if you have to. But I feel like you sit just like a royal person. I feel like you carry yourself like royalty. And you don't expect things to easily come to you. I feel like you're willing to put in the hard work because the Empress has been all of the queens at any one time. And she can have still those same characteristics within her. So you've reached a level of mastery because of the queens, there are 4 of them, but of the Empress, we have 1 Empress. And by the way, those of you guys that watch Stella Beauty Tarot, I learned that from her. I just gained that perspective from her. So shout out to her. I'm just going to say that you could wear a lot of maybe jewelry, a lot of beautiful necklaces. You could have an incredibly gorgeous hair, I'm all hair set, hair style. Hello, Griselle. Yes, just like this. And again, what the yellow being acknowledged is you know, dance the beat of your own drum. You're not afraid to be different. You are not afraid to show off your assets when you so desire, because I feel like you're an incredibly secure person, but this was hard earned. Pile number one, I definitely don't feel like you are someone who was given a lot. Yeah, a lot was not necessarily given to you. This is coming up as confirmation. It popped out sideways even. So you could have had situations when you were growing up, in other words, that things were just not easy. And sometimes you might have, you know, a little kind of bittersweet, I'm going to call it, a little bittersweet nostalgia towards the past. But I'm looking and all these cups are empty. There's 1 cup that has something in it, and this wound up being sideways. So perhaps sometimes you had somebody to kind of build up your self-esteem, or even now if you are a teen, and perhaps not. But I'm going to say that you cannot rely on that. And I feel, pile number one, that you know that you don't rely on things like that. Not at all. And I'm looking at these yellow leaves that I brought in from outside because they were just so beautiful. I want to share them with you. Yeah, I just feel like I'm hearing you're ready for the harvest. Like you've done a lot of work on yourself, and Spirit's like, it is coming. So baby, hang on tight. Pile number one, we have the Page of Wands. So this can indicate a child, or it could be you. And this really talks to me about passion, having a passion and a desire for movement, for pursuing your passions. Maybe even if you're slightly older, that you've really done all of the things that you were expected to do, or that you thought society wanted from you, or that you had to do, whatever. But the point of the matter is that I feel like you're coming full circle, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to do something for myself for a change. I'm going to take a drawing class. I'm going to take a class on, I don't know, stained glass steel, a Muay Thai class, or I heard Mahjong, so maybe somebody's trying to learn Mahjong as well. What else do we have here? But yeah, that you're returning to a desire and a passion from your youth. Now, pile number one, you've not had it easy. And I'm going to say that regardless of that, you've learned how to navigate people. And I feel like you don't make the same mistake twice. I feel like you're definitely a learner. Yes. And you also have an incredible reputation. I also feel like there's another card I have that's a 6 of Wands in a different deck. And it really talks about people celebrating who is mounted on this beautiful white steed. And I feel like this symbolizes your, I'm hearing coming upance or coming outance, I don't know. But this represents your freedom. Maybe you are trying to really find your freedom, or you have fought long and hard for your freedom. Maybe you're indeed in the service, or you simply had a situation that you freed yourself from. Now, the other deck that I started telling you about, it has a bunch of warriors, and all the warriors are looking up to this one with the 6 of Wands, really celebrating the 6 of Wands person. This is admiration. People really admire you. People cannot believe like the amount of battles that you have been in. And that's why you're allowed. You have taken the seat on top of this beautiful horse because you've done all the hard work, right? So pile number 1, kudos to you. We're going to even crown that with this. I feel like you are highly decorated. I feel like you're somebody that people admire, especially within your community. You could even talk because of all the blue right here and the teal. You can even speak on things that you have undergone. And people are like, wow, I would never have thought that you would have gone through that. What else do we have? We've got the Strength card. All right. Sorry, pile number 1. I had to double check that I split the video because of my editing, but I don't think I did. So I'll just take care of that later. But pile number 1, I'm going to say that with a Strength card, let's get close right here. People are really revering you. I feel like you have definitely mastered some really important lessons from the past. And maybe perhaps you allowed your knee-jerk responses to take precedence over how you would act or how you react. And then people knew like what buttons to push, but that is no longer the case, especially with all this yellow. And with the line here being tamed by her side, you've achieved a level of self-mastery that is clearly seen within other people, clearly seen by other people, I should say. Also, I feel like with this, presumably this cloud and this wind like blowing the cloud around, it could have to do with communication. And I feel like also you've achieved a level of self-mastery when it comes to your communication or communication style. So I'm loving that for you. And one more, please. Let me gas you up. You could have beautiful braids. You could have nice curly hair and manageable hair sometimes, I heard, for some of you. You could have nice long, kind of on the lighter side colored hair, whether you stripped it out or dyed it or whatever the case, or blonde. So something about your hair is very much in focus. Yeah. And you make incredible moves. Like when you say you're done, you are done. Never to go back. But you make moves in order to create a massive, massive change. Massive changes. So pile number 1, I definitely feel like people get kind of blown over by the moves that you make. They get a little bit shocked. They be getting a little bit shook. And what I say to that is, well, maybe they should have been paying attention to you all along. I feel pile number 1 that you've been underestimated, but this is a let me gas you up. So let me tell you, people are realizing it was foolish to underestimate pile number 1. By the way, if you're liking these kind of readings, do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. Also, do click on your notification bell for further notifications for when I drop more videos. So we do have this lady pouring into the beautiful pool of water, 1 foot on the ground, Mother Earth, and the other foot in the water. And this tells me, pile number 1, that you are really admired. She is Nikki, obviously, but I have YouTube clothing on her, so I can pass the vibe check, I guess. I don't know. We have all these stars right here. I feel like you're in the public eye. I feel like people are really understanding more about you. I also feel like you are not really focused on like gaining attention for attention's sake. I feel like you're just doing things. You're doing your own thing. And I feel like a lot of it, I'm hearing your own brand of healing. So maybe perhaps whatever it is that you're doing, I mean, for example, it could be a channel, or it could be Reiki, or it could be teaching women self-defense, or I mean, it could be so many different things. But whatever this is, not only is it your dream, I feel like at last people are noticing your gifts and your talents. And maybe not even at last, but there's something about how like you're recognizing that other people are recognizing it, which is really kind of interesting to me. Pile number 1, last card, is a 3 of Swords. So yeah, you have been through a lot, and maybe perhaps you've cried a lot of tears. But pile number 1, I feel like this is a card of victory, because with all of the tears that you've cried right here, and all things that are like super cloudy, you've not been able to make heads or tails out of it. I feel like you've healed in spite of. Like maybe you don't have the answers to every single little thing, and you've been through a lot, and maybe perhaps it would have been nice to get the answers to those things. But I feel like in here, even in here, I'm going to call this a die. I can't really call it what it's supposed to be, but it seems like 2 arms reaching out in victory and pushing out those swords in order to heal. So I feel like you are an active participant in your own healing. And I'm also hearing some of you guys can listen to subliminals. Some of you guys can do like aqua therapy and some other therapies, different modalities. Keep in mind, optimistically, we are reading for the masses. So that is what I have for you. I feel like people do fall in love with you quickly, and they realize that you could be a little bit diamond in the rough, but we love it. So that's all I have. Much, much love to you. Until your next time. Until next time. Namaste. Hi, friends. My name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 2, you chose this lovely image on the right-hand side of your screen. And your downloads go as follows. Let me gas you up. What I got from this image, first of all, is that you could have a lovely face, beautiful freckles or moles. Some quirkiness detected, and we like it. You might like patterns, as in clothing, or have like one item that just really pops out. You may have dark hair, like black or brown, or just hair on the darker side. Also, I'm hearing that you are model-esque. You have shiny skin, because it looked like, this image had a lot of sheen to it, a lot of shine. And so you could have something to do with like your skincare routine that people are admiring. Or perhaps you are going to the gym and people are admiring that kind of a glow, or other things, right? So also pile number 2, one of the downloads I got is that you could feel a bit dangerous to people, as in dangerous with a heart. You might be a heartbreaker, at least that's what people are feeling. And I know this is like a gas me up kind of a thing, but that's the download that I got. So I'm going to go ahead and do the shuffle in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, welcome. Pile number 2. Let me gas you up. Pile number 2, you have, how are you just popping out everywhere? Everything is fine with the 10 of Swords. You have the 2 of Cups. You have the High Priestess. Let's get the 2 flanking you. You have the Knight of Cups. And you have the 3 of Wands. Pile number 2 right off the bat. I'm just going to say, once again, you could be coming from pile number 1. Doesn't necessarily have to be, but you might be. Pile number 1, you've experienced some really dark nights. I feel like pile number 2 I meant. Pile number 2, I feel like you've gone through a dark night of the soul, and maybe even a couple. I'm also feeling like you've kicked some really nasty habits, including nasty people in your life that you didn't mean that you didn't need any longer. And this can include like really close friendships, really close relationships, whatever this is. I feel like that served to really betray you. You have traded that in and really put you ahead of everything else right now. And I feel like that's a really good thing, because pile number 2, people are not going to take you seriously unless you take you seriously. Now, we have paired up with the 2 of Cups and the High Priestess. I feel like you're using your intuition more nowadays, and this is part of your glowing up. But this is an incredible talent that you have. You also have an incredible talent and an ability to make other people feel very, very close to you. Your relationship, your friendship can be very medicinal to other people. I'm going to go ahead and get a drink. Sometimes I be needing that. Some tea. So, pile number 2, I definitely feel like you could indeed be this lighthouse to other people. And I also feel that people that have mistreated you in the past are in deep regret. They miss your medicine, whatever brand of medicine you have, whichever brand of medicine that you practice, it is definitely sorely missed. Also, with the High Priestess, this is she who knows, right? So you could be privy to a lot of conversations that other people would never even dream of having with another person. Like, out of all the people, they pick you. I feel like someone in here, I don't know why this is coming to mind, but I feel like this is giving me wheelchair vibes. And so some of you guys are in a wheelchair. Maybe you are healing, or you are in a wheelchair and that's just your, permanent state. So welcome everybody. And I'm going to sit with the High Priestess right here. She's on a laptop. So I feel like you could have a lot of people that want to confide in you, they want to be your confidant. Okay. How do I explain this? Is that pile number 2, you are everybody's best friend and you are everybody's confidant, but you don't trust easily. Pile number 2, that you are everybody's best friend and everyone's confidant, but you take your time and wait. You don't make any hasty decisions when it comes to relationships any longer, or the people that you allow close or within vicinity. Pile number 2, you could be incredibly loving, but also I feel like you attract love easily. People are quick to fall in love with you. People get mixed feelings over you. And I don't feel like they get mixed signals. I feel like more than anything, it's mixed feelings. Even people that are not attracted to the same sex could be developing crushes on you. Even friends develop crushes on you. Even people that are like unexpected, like bosses or people you work with, or I don't know, the guy at Chase Bank, the girl at Chase Bank, who knows? But I feel like these people could really crush on you, which is really interesting to me. But I feel like you've been through some stuff and you're very careful. You ain't going to play that no more. Pile number 2, the Chariot. Uh-oh. Don't be showing, darling. 3 of Pentacles. So we're going to go ahead and use, what are we going to use here as a cover? And I'm saying uh-oh because YouTube is very, very sensitive, their algorithm. So we're going to trade out my big ol' ring right here is a YouTube covering of sorts. So yeah, but with the 3 of Pentacles being up here with the Chariot, pile number 2, Crystal 2, pile number 2. Thank you. I feel like people really... I heard I want to draw you like one of your French girls, like the Titanic. And so in the Titanic, the movie, if you guys have seen it, you know that you had one character who really just wanted to own and possess the protagonist. And then you had another fellow that was really in love with her and helped her to see life differently and enjoy her life and not think so much about monetary gain or value in that. He just saw her. He saw her, as a person. So this could be that you really help people to see other, you help people to see themselves as a real person, excuse me, and not just as a role. Like, you don't allow people around you to go, yeah, you're not just a mom, you are this. You're not just a sister, you are this. So something about you elevates other people around you. And also, I just heard, pile number 2, that your friends feel elevated, like their reputation rises up when they are seen with you, and they love this. And frankly, I love this for you as well. So pile number 2, we have the Chariot again. So you have that ability to take your positive and negative polarities and just go with it. But also, I still get like, I'm a bad beat. So you could like that song, or you could love TikTok. I don't know the deal. But with the Chariot being present right here, you make some swift and sudden moves. And also, she seems a little feisty. Yeah, we got feisty with that in the very beginning. So it seems like people maybe, I heard people be watching your hands. I don't even talk like that usually, but maybe people are always watching your hands. Like, what do you have in them? Or maybe you're very animated. I do tend to talk a lot with my hands, even if I'm not on camera. It's just a thing. So yeah, that could be it. Also, pile number 2, I feel like you're quite the puzzle. Like, people want to be close to you and they want you to be their best friend. But I think that you're not really having it. I feel like you are very cautious in any moves. Yeah, you're cautious because you've been through some stuff. But also, pile number 2, I feel like you could be this tower, like a walking tower in people's lives. Like, you bring truth and you bring light. And I heard with that, you bring fight. Yep. So people that even want to casually hang out with you and so on and so forth. I'm going to say that they really... they might feel uncomfortable a little bit because it's like they want to chill, have drinks and smoke, and I don't know what else is going on. But to be perfectly honest, I feel like you bring out the truth in people, and also you bring deep revelations on how they're handling their business perhaps, or the trajectory of their life, or if they're saying they want to do something and you notice that they're doing something completely different, you're going to call that out. And it could be a little bit scary, a little bit intimidating, but pile number 2, I feel like that is really what you are known for. And people in the end appreciate you. I feel like in the end they turn around and they do celebrate you because you help them to find themselves. Something about you helping people find their own independence. Yeah. So pile number 2, you are a great communicator. You do not mince with words. I feel like, yeah, you take in a lot of your surroundings. You observe, you don't absorb. And maybe you have a hasty way of communicating, and I resemble that remark, not a judgment here. With the tip of the sword missing, this could be indeed. But pile number 2, you are very slow to make moves. Slow to make moves, slow to stay, I heard. And slow to stay in friendships or relationships or anything like that. You are definitely somebody who is always on the move and looking for, I don't know, what are you looking for? That's kind of interesting. What are you looking for, pile? Well, I mean, how can you not? The Star. So we have the Star. You are looking for fame. I want to live forever. I don't know why I always think of that when I say fame. But you are following your North Star, right? This could be Aquarius vibes as well. But you are somebody who is really listening to your own intuition. And this is widely known. This is widely known everywhere you go. And it's really interesting because people think that, like, spiritual people are all about love and peace and prosperity. And that's a part of it. But you're quick to be able to open up a can of whip if you have to. You're not afraid of that. And people know this about you. And something about like the stream. So you could go with the flow. You could even cause a riff in a whole different way. I see like 2 bodies of water coming together and creating something totally different. And I haven't, I'm sure you guys too have watched on TikTok or anywhere on any of those platforms where you watch the people that are like carving in the sand by the ocean, and they keep carving deeper and deeper and far back, and all of a sudden this big, like, I don't know, tide comes in and it winds up, overcoming the shoreline and being all wild like that. So you have a little bit of chaotic rectification energy is what I'm going to call it, where people go into like a little bit of a chaos and then they kind of pop out of it and go, wow, I didn't realize that that was a problem to begin with. And now it's all washed away. And now I can actually celebrate my truest form. So I think that I'm hearing bullwhip. So maybe some of you guys have a sharp tongue like a bullwhip, and I resemble that remark too. But honestly, these are good things because sometimes people need that. And I'm also hearing you don't spare yourself in that either. Yeah, so pile number 2, you are incredibly just. You are somebody who seeks fairness. I heard altruistic. I'm not afraid to get in there and get your hands dirty. We don't know what's behind the curtain. But you're definitely privy and the defender to make sure that everything is balanced, that you're very balanced, other people are balanced around you as well. And you have that ability, once again, for communication. So that is what I have for you. Much, much love. If you like this kind of content, do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. Until next time, namaste. Hi, Pile 3. My name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 3, you chose this lovely image on the right-hand side of the screen. And the downloads go as follows. We're reading about Let Me Gas You Up. So on the downloads, I got your creativity is growing a reputation itself. So not only are you known, pile number 3, but your creativity is becoming widely known as well. So maybe you reached like some kind of a contract or some kind of a commission, and people are starting to acknowledge and recognize what you have as far as your arsenal goes. Also, you're becoming known in circles that you've never been in or been a part of or even heard of. Pile number 3, you're so brave to follow your dreams and shut the mouths of the many naysayers. In pile number 3, you are, in fact, a magician, and you're becoming even more comfortable within your own skin. So, pile number 3, I'm going to go ahead and do the shuffle in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, welcome. Pile number 3. You have the Hermit card. You have the 7 of Pentacles. You have the 3 of Swords. And you have the King of Wands. Pile number 3. Right off the bat, I'm noticing these 2 babies right here with the Hermit card and the 7 of Pentacles. Pile number 3, you definitely know when to step back and how to make assessments. I feel like you keep checking back with yourself. Okay, am I following my North Star? Am I following my mission, my spiritual mission? Some of you guys could be really drawn to this attire. A little bit like Ren Fair attire, or actually, I don't know what century that would be. Is it 1800s? I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But I'm going to say that you have this ability to stand back and take a look and pull your energy away. And people really wonder at why you draw your energy away, why you won't discuss it with them. I feel like this is because you make moves in silence. Okay, I had a peek at what was down here because I'd forgotten. And you have the 3 of Swords. So perhaps pile number 3, you make moves in silence because you have been burned before. And you're not about to make that mistake anytime soon. Now, pile number 3, the Hermit card is a journey of one. And it's also a decision of just one person going within. And notice the canister of water. So I feel like you bring forth life. You bring forth satisfaction. You satiate other people's thirst for comfort, for knowledge, for wisdom. Pile number 3, we have the 3 of Swords right here. And then the King of Wands. And this king looks pretty feisty, a little bit upset, right? So with this king, pile number 3, I just feel like you could have a little bit of a temper. You could be a little bit indignant with other people get hurt, or when you see anyone causing an injustice in the world, I feel like it could infuriate you. And maybe that's part of your mission, is that you are trying to rectify it and fix the wrongs that other people have made and make them right again. So pile number 3, I feel also that, yeah, there's a lot of teal presence. And I feel like maybe you speak on topics and it's all black or white. You know, it's like you're either for me or you're against me. And what this I was describing earlier in pile number 2, I think, is that with the 3 of Swords, it seems like you have pushed out all of these swords yourself to the point where maybe perhaps you have injured yourself, like with your hand or something. And I'm going to say that this was no easy feat, but people see the incredible strength that you have, the wisdom, and how you are actually a leader. You could be a leader in a vocation where you lead other people. Maybe you are team lead. Maybe you are a manager. Maybe you are boss. Whatever this is, I feel like you could have a little bit of an edgy temper about you as well. But honestly, I feel like people like this because you fight for the underdog. Yeah. So pile number 3, you could have a very romantic and gentle and giving part to you. Like, you could be one prone to giving compliments. You could be one to really, give the gift of whatever is going to satiate your audience. So if you have somebody listening to you or working under you or something like that, that you're going to give them that emotional gratification in whatever language they can actually speak. So if this is acts of service, if this is additional time off, I don't know. This is just coming through. Take whatever works and leave the rest, of course. But I feel like whatever this is, you have this ability to really give reciprocal energy to other people, even and up to the point where maybe you can get yourself a little bit uncomfortable, or maybe even make promises that really shouldn't have been made because you have a big heart, okay? So with a Fool, we always know that the Fool is about ready to take one more step and potentially plunge into who knows what. So pile number 3, really the news on the is that you have an ability to walk into things and you're not afraid of like what you're going to walk into, because you have enough life experience to know that you can handle whatever comes up. So you're not about micromanaging. You're not about micro protecting. You're not about that life. You're taking it one step and one day at a time, I hear. And we love this about you. But also you do periodically stop and make assessments and you adjust your navigational course accordingly, right? So pile number 3. What? I think she came out in all of them, did she? You have the Star and the 9 of Wands. So I feel like you are fighting for that which is important to you. Because the Star, the main star right here, I feel pile number 3 is something of great importance to you. I feel like only really you can heed that call, whatever it is, and whatever that means to you. Some of you guys are indeed involved with like saving children or save the children, because that's what I'm hearing in my mind's ear. And also for growth. And I feel like some of you guys are exposing people that really need to be exposed in order to really help and heal. And I feel like you're an incredible defender as well. I just got a head rush right now, and I'm not drinking or anything. So I don't know. Even the smoke's not even smoking. So I set that off a while ago after I started reading. So something about you having the fortitude and the presence of mind to really protect other people around you. I feel like you're an incredible protector. I also feel that you've been through many different things. Maybe you could be a street fighter or a professional fighter. I don't know your life. This story is going to be different for everyone. Once again, take what works and leave the rest for someone else. That is not a problem. But what we do admire about you with that 9 of Wands right here is your ability to pick up that wand and tell people, hey, under known circumstances, not being me being repetitious, I'm feeling punchy. Are you allowing people beyond those barriers? You know, they have to show their ID, their badges, or whatever it is. They have to really qualify in order to really even approach. And you will stand and you'll fight. It is what it is, right? At least that's what I'm hearing. And we like that about you. We like that you are a protector or a protectress, right? We're not reading for, yeah, just one sex at all. And your last card, I have to look at this right here. Well, you have the Hierophant and the Magician, okay? So right here, this tells me that you are equipped with higher learning, but I feel like sometimes you pull out, I'm hearing stunts. I don't feel like it's even that, but I feel like you pull moves that people are not expecting. They're actually kind of shook. People come to you for advice on how to navigate their own life, their own work, their own job space, their own business. It seems that you do have the keys at your fingertips or at your toe tips. I don't know, right? So I'm looking at these pillars right here, and it's an echo of the High Priestess. So you could be very clairsentient as well. With the Hierophant, people know that you mean business. People know that you are impartial. And that you really, she has faraway eyes. I feel like you could really be claircognizant as well. And with the Magician card right here, you have this ability to bring whatever it was, like manifest what it is that you want. What comes up must come down. And really manifest your desires with all the skills that you have on your hands. And I'm being told also that people are really surprised at how many skills you have. And it doesn't matter if you're older, if you're younger, people are really shook at how many different varieties of skills that you actually have, when most people are only going to have like one skill, and they've only got one play in their playbook, one game in their playbook that they can work with, and the rest is nil and nullified. And that's what makes you so different, by the way, from other people, and an incredible asset to friend or anyone around you. Okay, what was this jumper? Yeah, Temperance. So pile number 3, you could also be part of the LGBTQ. I so sabotage that so hard. I'm so sorry. LGBTQ, which I like to call it LGBTQ because of that cute little TikTok that this girl made. She sounded so cute. But anyways, you could be part of that community. You could be very different, the odd person in the room. You could be bi, no shade on that game, whatever works for you. Pile number 3, I feel like with the Temperance card, you have learned to really accept self-acceptance and balance. I do feel like you have a guardian angel around that really protects you. I also feel with this long hair that you have antennas, like you connect to spirit very easily. You have at least 2 admirers who are always close by. They're at your beck and call, I hear, but not that we're trying to use anyone like that. I just kind of heard that and saw that. And also that you really have the ability to bring the sunshine to people. With these cups, you are a great alchemist. You're an incredible alchemist to turning something into... basically into turning, I'm all backwards. What is going on here? Into using 2 different chemicals and turning it into a third, more powerful one. So yeah, people get a little bit tongue-tied around you. People lose their train of thought around you. I also feel, pile number 3, that people just don't know what to say. Like you could say stuff and then they don't even know how to reply. Like, oh, should I laugh? Or was that a joke? Or my gosh, like how do you cram all that knowledge and wisdom into that brain? Or like, I don't really understand. Can you please explain it? But I don't want to be the only one who raise my hand, that kind of a thing. So pile number 3, that's what I have for thee. If you're liking these kind of readings, do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about the reading. Until next time, namaste.